and we welcome you to the start of Season 6 in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series, and it starts at Talladega. What a... Could you pick a better place to start off the season? I mean, arguably Daytona maybe, but this is Talladega. This is going to be a fun one. And I am excited to see how these guys are going to perform for, well, several laps around this 2.66 mile track. I'm Joshua Coppernoll. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, buddy, it's been a while. I feel like the last time we talked was one of these broadcasts, but I know that's not the case, but it has been a while. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Josh. It's as you know, and as many others know, it's been one of those weeks. We will, not get into details about that, but those of you who have been around me, you kind of know what's going on. I appreciate everyone who's been around me. But focus tonight is this Palm Rat Golf Road and Plate Series, kicking it off, Talladega, and Josh, not just Talladega, new ARCA car, new body style ARCA car. I've had experience with it. I've been in this car for 2 races now on a different league. We're getting ready to go for a 3rd race this Monday, and it's a fun little car. It drafts very, very interestingly. But everywhere else it goes, and I'm excited to see these guys put it on the road courses, because everywhere else I put it, and testing and in races just 2 Mondays ago at Old Atlanta. This car's a fun car, and it develops very interestingly, to say the least, with the way the tires, the aero, everything handles. This car's going to be fun for these guys to experiment with this season.
I've heard so many people compare this as like the old Gen 6 car. And I have driven these cars in a league as well. We've already visited 2 plate races with them, Daytona, Talladega. And let me tell you what, not only is the draft interesting, the single file bump draft, the side draft, John. I literally, I've side drafted on people. I've had people side draft right down on me, and it brings the car that you're side drafting towards you. And it can be really sketchy for the other driver, the one driving the car that now is being pulled. It's a lot of fun to drive these cars, though. And I'm excited to see how these guys do with these new ARC cars here in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series.
Yeah, Josh, you bring up that side draft. That side draft is going to be something to keep an eye on tonight. But it's going to be interesting to see who's done their homework on that, who's actually tested the car, who's practicing, that drafting style. We talk about league here, road and plate. I mean, that's what they need to be focused on. Like, you need to be focused on what you can do at the road courses. We want run more road courses throughout the season with this series. But a big portion of this is also that plate style track. And I mean, I'd argue not really plate style, but a lot of the tracks you can go to with this lower powered ARCA car would feel like a restrictor plate style track where we are just constantly on the gas, on the gas, on the gas.
It's gonna be just a ton of fun. And next week, the way that these guys do it, and I can pull up the schedule, but the way they do it is 1 plate race, 2 road courses, 1 plate race, 2 road courses, 1 plate. I think you get the point from here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the schedule, and I'm gonna show you. Obviously, tonight, it is Talladega. And then, literally next week, we're going to a track that I don't even have on iRacing. I doubt that you do. I'd be very shocked if you do. We're going to...
I think we went here a couple years... Or maybe it was Red Bull. I don't remember, but I might have it.
It's... They're going to Nordschleife. However...
Nürburgring.
Nürburgring, yes. I haven't even. I don't even know what that track looks like.
I'm gonna call up Paul Sadmary, and we're gonna get the resident German to come help us call that race. That's what we'll do, Josh. Shout out to Paul Sadmary, though.
The very next week, we're going to a track that is brand new to iRacing. It is Portland International Raceway. That one should be a whole lot of fun as well. I do have that track on iRacing. I got it actually the same day I got the ARC car. Then it's going to be the wild card. They always have one wild card race, which is going to be the Atlanta. You see the Atlanta 2008 Oval. Well, why specifically? What's the difference between 2008 and current? Well, current is a drafting style track now. Atlanta '08, it's that old, aged surface, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun with these cars for sure.
The track I was just at a couple weeks ago with a different league, and I can tell you it's interesting. Tire fall off's going to be big, but it's wide. The track gets wide with this car.
Well, we do not have much time at all here, as one of the rules is that the field grids short pace lap rather. So they're on the backstretch. Let's go ahead and get our starting lineup out to you. And starting on the pole by 1/1000th of a second, Samuel Stoner. That is not the correct one, but Samuel Stoner will start on the pole. Aaron Smith will start to his outside in second. Third place, it is Dustin Bawley. Jacob Phillips will start in fourth. Fifth, it's Tom Wendt. James Moore will start in sixth. Seventh place will be Devin Jack. Mike Thompson starting in eighth. Ninth place, it's Chuck Labano. And I believe Chuck Labano won the season finale at Daytona last time out. And Levi Powell will start in 10th.
11th place, you'll see Andrew White. 12th going to go to William Kinder. Daniel Ott will be starting 13th. 14th going to be Matt Schlosser. Larry Johnson's going to start in 15th position. 16th is going to be Jay Bass. 17th going to see Aaron Bray. 18th, Chris Winslow. Laura Wiseman, one of our Sticker Speedway merchants back when we were in the Xfinity car, is going to start in that 19th position. Evan Hoopchak, our league sponsor, will round out your top 20. And finishing up your 25 car starting grid, you will see in 21st, Robert Probst. 22nd is going to go to Ryan Campbell, and he's the last of our drivers that took time. Johnny Rapp, 23rd. 24th, Randy Bechtel. I'm going to need clarification on that one. We will get that figured out. New names, new places, new faces. But rounding out your 25 car field is going to be Sean Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that last name either, but I'm going to say it's probably Bechdel. So that's at least what will go with until I am told otherwise. I'm glad you got that one though, John. Pick to win. Who do you got? Quickly. They are already in 3 and 4.
The yellow banana starting on the outside of the front row.
Oh.
Can't miss him. Aaron Smith.
It's a great pick. Man, I'm going to go with Tom Wendt. He is my pick. Dustin Bawley coming into pit road. Dustin Bawley will be relinquishing that third place starting position. We got it wrecked. We got it stacked. We got the grandstands packed. We're green here at Talladega.
See him 2x2 already, and you see him moving around a lot. We talk about this with the real life car too. These cars, I don't know if it was the Gen 6 era or if it's just the style of this ARCA car. It is very, very similar to that of the Gen 6. So
oh!
We got a crash.
That was Devin Jack, yes. 49, Devin Jack. He hit the inside wall. He's the only one to go around. I believe everybody else is fine. So we are
He's
going
the
to
only one
stay
to go
green.
around, and he's big damage. Left front broke. Car is rolling. Back on track. No caution yet. So he's going to limp it back to pit lane.
I believe we're going to stay green, as that was... Oh, well, now we're going to have a yellow. Jay Bass around. I saw him, and Chris Winslow.
Chris Winslow.
Somebody else involved, too. I could not tell who it was. Sean Johnson, maybe? Let's go take a look at our
That's
replay.
the 53 of Bass, I believe. 53 is going to be Jay Bass, and that was the 18.
The 18, that was the other one.
Campbell. So, I mean, if you're Devin Jack, I think he might have just caught a break, actually, because he was coming out of turn 4, and they were right there going into 1. Get on pit road, get that fast repair that we know they have. Devin Jack might be okay. Devin Jack is off and away. Field just now coming to the tri-oval. We'll have to see what happens with Devin Jack.
He's rolling. He's fine. I do believe so.
He is. He's out in front.
Yeah.
He beat the leaders off pit road, and that should allow him to keep his lap. But this is where iRacing scoring can get a little weird. And you mentioned Dustin Bawley pulling down pit road. He actually did manually disconnect, and now he's reconnected here on lap 2. So 1 lap behind is Bawley, but kind of a fortunate issue to have, whatever issues he may be having. Might be able to keep going here with minimal laps down. You know, Josh, just before all that chaos broke, I was just getting ready to talk about how much the cars move around. It was noticeable. We talked about the side draft in the pre-show. We talked about the new body style and this being comparable to the Gen 6. But I think the thing that I've noticed the most, and it probably creates all that movement, is that front lip. On the ARCA car, it is a little bit more exaggerated than what we had with the Gen 6 car. And I think it picks up that nose a little bit more, and it moves this car around a lot.
I'll tell you, they've been a lot of fun to drive, for sure. And the 2 races I have done at restrictor plate races specifically, they've been with smaller fields. It's still been really fun, but I haven't been out there with 24 other drivers like these guys are experiencing right now. So, yeah, the movement, it's going to be even more than I think what I have even faced. And, you know, I think you hit it right there. It's going to be really challenging for these guys, even more so than what plate racing already is. And I'm excited. I really am.
And with these cars, too, not like your modern-day NASCAR Cup car. Similar style to the Gen 6, but very different to the Gen 7. The Gen 7 has that solid floor on the bottom. Air just kind of slides under the car and rolls off the back of the diffuser. And it actually pulls the car down into the track. Whereas this, it's just an empty carriage underneath there. There's not a lot of pull keeping the car to the track. Really, only what you get off the rear spoiler and over the top of the rear deck lid is what's really pushing your rear end into the track. And like I mentioned, that splitter, its job is to kind of help direct the air over top of the car to push the nose down, but it's so huge when you look at these cars, it almost looks like it would blow air underneath of it, too.
Yeah, and you're getting more into scientific details than what I understand, because I don't know anything about cars. I just drive them. But I mean, you do have a point. You know, these race cars are designed, you know, to not have the air go underneath them. You're still going to have air go underneath them for sure, but you know, it's just the design of them. The air consistently moves around, and I'll tell you what. Speaking of air, right? These guys are facing a 10 mile per hour headwind down the back straightaway. They get a 10 mile per hour, well, it's kind of fluctuating. Now it's going all the way down to 6 mile per hour, but down the front straightaway, you know, they're at a tailwind. So on top of that, now you're talking right in the corners. You're going crosswind. Both ways, you know, through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And that could really affect handling as well. The field is back 2x2, 12 laps to go here in the sprint race. If you're not familiar with the format of the Road and Plate Palmer Golf Series, it is a sprint race, 16-lap sprint race, followed by the feature race, 32 laps on the super speedways.
Oh, Dustin Bally still having issues, it looks like, and he's manually disconnected again. It's a bummer for Dustin Bally. I gotta wonder what's going on. Hopefully we can get an update with him maybe after the race. We'll talk to him, but it's certainly not going to plan here for Dustin Bally. I mean, the sprint race is kind of a wash at this point. You're 2 laps down, and you had to disconnect again. No, it's not a wash for Devin Jack. Did not lose a lap there. Caution comes out at the right time. Big damage on the first lap. Completely killed the left front of the car, but able to get it fixed through the magic of that one fast repair. But here's the story for him. 1 fast repair. The rest of the sprint race, as crazy as this can get, he cannot be involved in anything. And I will be the first to tell you, these cars are durable. You can bump heavy. You can do a lot. These cars are durable, but he's got to be careful.
And the good news for him is, if his car gets junked again here in the sprint, look at a clean one for the feature. So these guys are in the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out. We're back underway here at Talladega.
And another thing to watch out for, I mentioned the durability and how hard you can, bump somebody. Somebody you and I know very, very well, Josh, Dalton Kilrow in a season opener race for that Monday Night League that I keep speaking of, had damage to his nose before taking the green, and it blew the engine within about, I'd say, 15, 20 laps. Engine overheated from nose damage. So watch some of these shoves tonight. If there's a little crinkle of damage on that nose, you could blow this engine up. It does not take much. Oh, we've got another crash going on in the background.
Wiseman!
We've got our first up and over.
Brian Campbell? That, my friends, is the big one.
Looks like Wiseman gets hooked by the 64. 64 is going to be Larry Johnson, but the person who goes for the wild ride here is the 3. The 3 of Andrew White. He's our first up and over. Oh, and the 5 of Robert Brooks. He gets air. Big time wreck. And Josh, looking through there, I mentioned Devin Jack not needing to get in another incident. He looks like is going to sneak by this on the inside. Just all of it happening in front of him. He just goes straight to the apron and sneaks by.
Watch from his
Close
onboard.
moment there with Daniel on. Oh, man. You can see him gassing it up.
Watching there from the onboard of Devin Jack. This is wild. It happens so quick, too. You don't have much time to react.
I'd be interested to know what the view looked like from the 3 car, Andrew White. That was a wild ride there for that 3 car.
On board with Andrew White.
Folks, if you get motion sickness, I would not recommend taking this ride.
Of course, I went too far back. Happened here in just a moment. There it is. Oh, man. Stuck the landing.
did, and surprisingly, what I hear is the engine's still running. It doesn't look like he has any steering control, but the engine's still running. Wheel completely straight. I don't know what wheel Andrew White runs, but I gotta wonder if there's a wheel disconnection there, because it doesn't look like his wheel's moving at all, where it should be bumping around with damage. Andrew White still on pit road. I believe he's awaiting a tow now. Aaron Smith still out front. I think the front's the place to be right now. A lot of these early wrecks are happening in the middle of the pack. Dustin Bally has reconnected again now, 4 laps down. Does look like the 24 is rolling out there. Seen any huge blinks or any kind of issues like that. Under the apron again, and I think he might disconnect again. I'm not seeing anything from our end that would tell me he's having issues, but it does appear that he's having some kind of technical error.
So it might not be issues with the simulator itself. Of course, iRacing did have issues way earlier in the day during an NIS split. The whole server went down, by the way.
Oh.
The only Thursday I run NIS. Literally the only time this season I've decided to do that, and the entire server went down for maintenance.
So far, 9 laps in, 16. We're on lap 9 now. Doubled up, so when we take the green, we will have, I believe, 11 to go. Or not 11,
7.
Math. 7. 7-11. Anyways.
He's from Ohio, it makes sense. Sorry,
Jack. That meme. dig that one out of the no context JCTV archives. Oh, man. So, I mean, we still got a good amount of this field out here. I don't see anybody permanently out. I think the 3 of Andrew White, yeah, he's still sitting on pit road, so I don't know if he had already used a fast trip pair there. But we're stacked up. Aaron Smith, James Moore, same front row. Mike Thompson, Tom Wendt, Levi Powell, William Kinder, Sam Stoner, Chuck Labano, Matt Slosher, and Evan Hubchak are your top 10.
So the pace car is in. The field will be in the hands of Aaron Smith. Inside the restart zone, green flag back out. Let's try it again. Oh, more. He wanted down on the bottom. Thompson was still there. And this just separated the bottom.
It did, and now it's going to allow Tom Wendt in that outside lane to get a run. He's getting a great push from behind.
A little squirrely there, it's Tom Wendt.
That's the 35. It's going to be William Kinder trying to give him help. Takes a couple laps, though, for the outside lane to get rolling. Just like we used to see in this Gen 6 car for the Cup cars. It takes a minute. It takes a long, at least with Talladega being a long track, I'd say at least 2 laps for that outside lane to really get the momentum and get going.
Well, right now it's taking 1, and they are still there.
They're doing exactly what you would want to do, but the one thing I'm not seeing them do right now, which is probably a good thing because it'll cause more accidents, but they're not getting aggressive with that side draft just yet. As we close down closer to lap 16, though, I think you've got to get down there if you're a guy in the outside lane. You've got to grab that right rear a little bit of the car next to you, and you got to pull yourself forward and pull them back. I say pull yourself forward, but realistically pull them back.
A third lane started. Faded back. And it's led by Devin Jack right now.
Lane 3 can work, and it can work with 2 cars. It's just, with these cars, the lead car is actually really, really important, right? You have to drag the brake a little bit as the lead car to keep that second car in line tucked up to you if you're going to do a 2-car tango.
Schlosser gets out of line in front of Wendt. See if that 400 machine can lead the outside lane currently towards the front.
Right now what you're seeing is Devin Jack's trying to create that third lane, but they'd be better off right now just trying to work that middle. And it looks like Schlosser is trying to work a side draft a little bit. You see him ducking down just a tiny bit, and it's working. You see right there, he breaks a gap right there between the 30 and the 115. Now he's going to get up there and grab a little bit of the 115. You see how that side draft works. It's just slightly pulling that car back a little bit, which is slowing the line down just every little bit. Schlosser's doing this perfectly. He's leading this lane perfectly, and Devin Jack, he's got help in that third lane, but he just needs a little bit of momentum. And now we got more cars pulling out there to that third lane. It's going to be hot.
Look at all that movement going on right now. Get nervous, and I'm not even driving.
Still got a couple laps to go here. I believe crossing the line this time. We'll be at 3 to go. One car drops out of line.
They were on the apron. Who was that? Anyway, we got 3 laps to go. Aaron Smith still leading the sprint race. Schlosser.
William Kinder jumps to that outside lane in the third lane. That checks them up. It's very tight right there between the middle and the third lane.
It's that third lane. 4 cars are in it. They're struggling to get going. The numbers right now are in the bottom lane. So I think right now, advantage. Aaron Smith. Schlosser needs some help.
I would say Aaron Smith's insurance right now, too, is Schlosser being in that outside lane. If Moore can keep doing his job of pushing Aaron, but Schlosser can do his part to keep trying to get to Aaron, that's going to help Aaron Smith ultimately because Moore's not going to be able to pull out a line.
I'll tell you.
As I say that, here comes Schlosser to the front.
Sean Johnson got out of line in the middle line. I thought that was going to stop the momentum, but yeah, no, you mentioned it. Schlosser, he's there on point.
A lot of the momentum in the line is going to come from your first 2 to 3 cars. And what I seen there was the 28 of Tom Wendt and Evan Hubchak absolutely just hooked bumpers together, pushing collectively to try and get Schlosser to the front, try to get their lane going. Now I see what looks like Wendt and Schlosser checking up to the outside lane. Schlosser going to get down in front of Smith. Wendt's going to be hung out to dry, and they're 4 wide, and that's going to be a wreck.
White flag is out, waving. No caution came out. Now it is Aaron Smith making the move. He's got help with more. Schlosser on his own.
Out to dry there.
Thompson goes to the outside with help from Powell. Now it's
just what you got to do here
tandem.
On the final lap.
We got tandem drafting. We went back all the way to 2011.
right now, but here comes the run from the 30 and the 115. Schlosser's still not out of this. He's still got draft.
Thompson pulls up. Does Aaron Smith stay bottom? He does. Smith, oh my goodness, Powell trying to take the lead. He's got help with Schlosser. They're going to be 4 wide. Across the line, it's Powell.
Aaron Smith went down to block. I believe that was Chuck Labano making what I hate to call is an illegal move. All the way below the double yellow. I'd have to go back and look at it. I don't think Aaron Smith needed to make this block, but he did, and that was all the momentum killer he needed.
Well, here's the question. Is the double yellow line rule in effect in this series? We know in real NASCAR that's a no-no. You can't do that.
I'm going to have to believe it is, but I'm going to go look that up while you run down results.
And it is Levi Powell, Aaron Smith, James Moore, P3, Chuck Labano, 4th, Matt Schlosser, 5th, Mike Thompson, 6th, Sean Johnson, 7th, Tom Wendt, 8th, Samuel Stoner, 9th, and Johnny Rapp, 10th. Remember, they all invert. So Rapp is going to be on the pole as a result for the feature race. We're going to try to see if we can get a word with our sprint race winner. And I do not see him in a voice chat. I don't believe.
I did go and look up our rules. That move made by Chuck Labano is legal only on the last lap, coming off of turn 4. So, I retract my statement. Aaron Smith did need to make that block if he thought Labano was going to get past him. Personally, I still think Aaron Smith was fine. Labano had a run, but Aaron Smith had help coming from the 12. I think he would have been all right there. But either way, Levi Powell going to get the win. And Josh, I believe you've caught up with our sprint race winner.
Yes, I have. Levi Powell, what a sprint race that was for you. Just right at the end, cars everywhere. But you were in the right place, the right time to make the move and get the win.
Yeah, I thought I made the move too early. I was expecting a bunch of those guys to come back by me through the tri-oval, but I held it. I was just trying to stay alive, just riding around.
Well, it was chaos to start the sprint race with a couple of cautions there. Then went green. Now the feature, do you expect things to be calmer or much of the same to start off?
I would hope that it's a little calmer. The race is a little longer, so maybe guys will chill out a little bit. It is the first week, so you expect a little bit of the uncomfortable and rushing, but being a longer race, I think it'll be a little calmer, hopefully.
All right, well, only a few seconds left in the warm-up, so sponsors, shout-outs, who gets it done for you?
It's just me. I got nothing else to shout out or nothing. It's just me. I'm just out here riding around having fun.
All right, well, congrats on that sprint race win, and we'll see.
Thank you.
If we can talk to you again in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you, guys.
Good luck. That was Levi Powell, winner of the sprint race. And we're getting ready for the feature. Just that quick. Does not take long at all. And I want to remind you guys that Life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. John, are you ready?
I am.
It's 32 laps. And it's going to be a crazy 32 laps.
And for those wondering at home, we do run a 55% fuel limit. So, and usually with this league, they set their sprint race to be the full fuel tank, right? That is like about the max they can run. If we go into overtime for any reason in a sprint race, we're usually pushing it on fuel. So expect pit stops around 16, anywhere from lap 16 to lap 20, I would say we expect pit stops. Just strictly going on fuel saving and draft, though.
Well, real quick, John, who's your pick to win here in the feature?
It's tough with this new car. I'm not sure who can actually make it to the front. I mean, we've seen a pretty, for lack of a better word, ballsy move by none other than Chuck Labano. I expect nothing different here. I'll take him. Chuck Labano, get the win.
All right, I'm going to go with Evan Hoopchak, and I'm having issues with the picks graphic there. So, Chuck Labano, Evan Hoopchak, our picks to win. The pace car is in, and once again, we got them racked, we got them stacked, we got the grandstands packed. We are green. Things seeming calmer-ish. Well, already three wide. Robert Probst. He pulls back down to the second line.
I was getting ready to say that's just a result of one car. I believe that's the 51, going to be Jacob Phillips, one of our newcomers, actually. Not seen him in the series last season. And keep in mind, people like Jacob Phillips and I believe the name Chris Winslow is new. Some of these new names.
Winslow is not new.
Well, new to me, at least. Some of the newer names, though, in new places, they actually had to do a recruitment race, which was hosted last Thursday.
4 wide?
To be eligible, yeah, 4 wide. I was going to say, to be eligible for this race, as Jacob Phillips is looking at a hornet's nest in front of him right now with that 4 wide that sells back down to 3. Surprising to see us 3 wide this early. But there's one driver I see that's not having issues anymore and is in the pack. 24, Dustin Bawley, up to 11th place.
Aaron Bray having some issues. He's going, though. He's good. But was flirting with disaster right next to that wall a moment ago.
See James Moore pulling out of line. Right now has no help.
Aaron Smith is still in the middle line with help. James Moore going to tuck back down in front of Hoopchak. Hoopchak, he went to the outside. Aaron Bray helping Hoopchak. How about this? Laura Weisman pushing Smith. However, Sean Johnson moves out of line. Probst pushing Johnson. real tight there. Johnson and Wiseman. Oh, Johnson gets into the wall.
Yeah,
Heavy
we got our
contact.
accident. That's going to be, I believe, Dustin Bawley got caught up in that as well. He does, front end's ripped off.
Jacob Phillips involved somehow. There was no yellow in the sim, however, we might get an admin thrown yellow. Bawley bringing it to the pits.
Getting pulled yet.
Phillips also coming to the pits, as well as the 64 of Larry Johnson. I think I've been calling him Sean Johnson. That's not Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson, however, is up front.
And he is second in line, and here comes Aaron Smith. After all that chaos of us getting caught up with what happened to certain drivers, Aaron Smith is going to make his way to the front on that outside lane. Outside lane, not the strength in numbers, but I keep reiterating it. The lead car is important in the outside lane with the side draft, but also the organization, right? How close are they? How hard are they pushing? Who's the pusher versus who's being pushed?
Look at oh my goodness! Moore gets down to the bottom inside Wiseman. Wiseman now going to be trapped in the sucker hole.
See Dustin Bawley getting his fast repair, getting back out there. Another car getting a fast repair, getting back up there. I believe that might be the 64.
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson. Both of them getting back out there. Only lost one lap. Jacob Phillips is already back out there. So a couple of these drivers catching a break. Going to be a between
Evan Upchuk gets turned from the lead.
Dog.
He's hard into the inside wall. We're still going to be green. And it was a push gone wrong.
From Jay Bass. Jay Bass immediately apologizes for it.
Now we've got a calmer pack up front. I'm not going to say calm, because they're still too wide. So that's why I said calmer. Either way, Matt Schlosser is leading this race. James Moore second, Aaron Smith third. Johnny Rapp followed by Sam Stoner. Smith moves to the outside. He's got help from that 65 of Stoner. Stoner goes even higher with help from Sean Johnson. So now Smith is in the sucker hole. And these guys need to be careful because Stoner was about to find the front end of Sean Johnson. Somehow, everybody's still going straight.
And poor Aaron Smith is just sitting there like, where are all my friends? He has no friends right now. Nobody at the front wants to help the Hello Banana Machine. Twice now he's been up there and he's gotten himself into what I think is a good position, and then he just gets absolutely left out to dry. Everyone starts making passes. Nobody wants to see that 70 machine up front. I understand why. I've raced against that 70 machine. He's fast.
And this is the thing. You know he's fast. You know he competes for wins everywhere he goes. This right here, Talladega, it's a track that opens up the door for a lot of different drivers to win. They don't want to see that 70 win another one.
Oh, we've got... Careful here, boys. 51. Jacob Phillips just trying to let the pack get by.
Oh! Schlosser's going to be in the sucker hole now. Just unfortunate timing. This is going to put Jay Bast in the lead, though.
Jay Bast, just a couple laps ago, spun his buddy Evan Hoopchak on accident. Bad push. Now he's just got Laura Wiseman absolutely glued to his bumper. Up on the outside lane is his buddy. That's going to be Sean Johnson with, I believe that's help from Chuck Labano.
So check this out, John. These guys are 3 wide once again. There is a smaller pack not far behind that I think they're going to eventually catch these guys. These guys, like I said, 3 wide. The other pack, I saw single file. Well, at least they were for the most part.
Right now, Bast and Wiseman and our sprint race winner of Levi Powell all were clear to the bottom, as well as I believe that's going to be the 64. Yes, that's the 64. That's going to be lap car of Larry Johnson.
Here comes Smith with the help of James Moore.
Well, now this is a pair we've seen in the sprint work really, really well together.
Oh, Stoner wanted to. That's Chuck Labano behind Stoner.
That 12 and that 70. Oh, it looks like the 12 actually might have some nose damage. I wonder where he got that from. I wonder if he knows he has it. That's going to affect the temps on that car. I mentioned this in the sprint race that a little bit of damage to the nose is going to affect the temps. James Moore is going to be better out front than he is right in behind Aaron Smith right now. He's not going to be a good pusher. Even though these two did so well in the sprint, he's not going to be able to push. He's got damage on the nose.
I noticed that damage on the nose a little bit ago, so he's had it for a little bit already in this race as they are completing lap 11. So 11 down, 21 to go. They are catching Dustin Bawley, who is 3 laps down. These guys, they have gotten calmer. Still 3 wide. Going to be 4 wide for a moment here as they go. Oh, nope. They stayed 3. They didn't want to push it 4 with Bawley. Okay, so now 2 wide. For now. Remember, pit stops are coming.
Pit stops are coming, and it's important to keep an eye on guys like Moore who have a little bit of damage. Anyone else in the field that might have just that tiny bit of damage. Those engines are frying ever so slightly, but I can't tell for sure if it's damage or if it's just the way the Ford nose looks. I'm looking at other Fords, and it kind of has that little bit of curve to it.
His is definitely flatter right in the middle. It is Moore's.
It definitely looks like he has a little bit of right front, too, on the right front fender, maybe, where the headlight is. It's hard to tell, and I don't know where he would have gotten that from. I don't remember seeing him involved in anything too serious.
Well, the good news for Moore right now is he's behind Smith, who is behind Johnson. Larry Johnson, that is. And Moore still gets down.
Clear to the bottom. This looks like the sprint race all over again.
I was going to say, so the good news for Moore is he doesn't have to push. He just has to ride. Well, now he's in second. There's really no challenge on the outside.
I was going to say, he's still in position to not have to push. It looks like everyone's trying to get single file to get to pit road.
Oh, because it's coming.
Sean Johnson's plan is going to be here with the 64 up in front of him.
Johnson might want to push to get in front of Smith. But he really doesn't have help.
He's got to convince the 64, and I don't know if they're in comms together, but he's got to convince the 64 and him, and anyone behind them, as I now see Chuck Labano, Dustin Bawley, and I believe that's Matt Schlosser, all on the outside lane. They all got to work together and really side draft. You see the 64 dipping down right there. Not quite close enough, I would say, to do too much, but enough to justify it. Just got to side draft a little bit. Being a good pusher is nice, but being able to side draft with these cars is the bread and butter for these plate races.
Johnson is clear. He's going to go down.
That's going to leave Bawley Labano and Schlosser up on the outside. And Matt, I love you, dude, but can we have a different name? I can't say that word.
Aaron Smith wants the lead. He's going to pull back to the outside. And he's got help from Labano. In a huge side draft.
Now the 64's leading the bottom. But the run coming from Smith, he's going to jump back down in front. He wants to lead the lane, not be led.
Oh, Johnson gets into Smith.
Bad push. They keep it together, though.
More James Moore underneath Johnson. Larry Johnson, that is.
And Larry Johnson just didn't let James Moore back up, and now James Moore's bleeding spots.
Chuck Labano with the lead for a second, as now Smith going to take it back over. Schlosser also with him.
Moore going to jump out from behind the 64.
Jay Bast leading the outside line with help from Sean Johnson.
And you know, with the 64, I understand folks at home might be saying, lap car, why is he in the battle? Why is he in the way? It's a tough decision you make here. If a wreck happens and the 64 clears it, he is the lucky dog right now. But not far. I believe Dustin Bally might be... Oh, Dustin Bally is 4 laps down. But Jacob Phillips, he actually caught a little bit of this draft, and he's still here.
We got Pittick, Jay Bass.
We do have it's
Aaron Smith, he is going full send. Almost everybody in pit road.
And Smith made it.
Everybody did. I don't know if I've ever seen that many cars pit all at once in iRacing and not a single person have issues as far as wrecking or going onto the grass. We don't know if, everybody made it in on speed.
I do hear the cars that stayed out. 52, Johnny Rapp going to come to pit road. So maybe that'll draw the 24. I believe that's the 19. I definitely heard him call out pit. So Johnny Rapp, all of that pack besides Dustin Bally is going to pit in the 19.
He's got it.
Somehow did it. Randy Bechtel somehow did. And I did get clarification on the pronunciation.
So this will hand the lead over to Aaron Smith. And James Moore is pushing Smith, trying to get him out front, so it's only them two. However, Schlosser is there. Everybody else kind of single car.
And you know something else I noticed? James Moore got his damage fixed. I don't know if he knows he did, but he got his damage fixed. The one thing I can say is it's easy to forget that you have a faster pair, especially when you're doing green flag pitting. Some of these guys might have taken a faster pair without realizing it, and that's going to be important here as wow, they're pushing a lot. Oh my goodness. But with good reason, look who they come out right behind. The 19 actually leapfrogs them. The 19 and the 52, they leapfrog.
And the 115, Thompson as well. Wow. Well, I mean, doesn't matter. Smith and Moore are able to clear them, and now this is just bad news for those behind them. As who is that? The camera changed way too quickly. Somebody went onto the apron. I don't think. I believe it. I believe it was Weissman.
Back up front, battle's going to be with these 6 cars. Top 6 are breakaway right here. Sean Johnson leading that pack. They're talking, needing to get single file. You see them trying to get single filed out. Wiseman going to jump into the back of that. If they're single file and they're pushing, they might be able to catch up. Might. They've got to really be organized. And sadly for Jay Bass, he's got to be the best pusher in the world right now.
And, you know, for Best, he also needs Logano to do his job. The first 3 cars in a pack can make the difference. So basically, it's Smith, Moore, and Bechtel against Johnson, Best, and Logano. Which pack is going to be the better drafters and pushers right now? Can Sean Johnson?
One thing you don't want to have happen is end up like the Toyotas did here last year. Not in this league, but in real life, where
No!
because you're trying to help each other, as we almost had it happen.
Best,
You want to
Logano.
help each other out, but you don't want to crash them in the process. You only can get to the lead if you work together. And right now, they're not doing a very good job of that.
No, they are not. They need to get in formation and do it quickly. They are coming to 11 laps to go, and right now it's Logano and Best. I just pulling away from these guys. Now they're back formed
been
up.
a good pusher, and now if that 32 of Sean Johnson can just stay tucked in there, he doesn't have to push Logano. He just needs to be close. Everybody else can just take draft off of them. Until we hit a point where maybe Logano needs to cool his engine off, which right there, it looks like Logano's going to pull out. I'm not sure if that's because his engine needs cooled or what the case may be, but it looks like he's going very high. He wants to go to the back of the pack. Maybe he already overheated that engine.
So maybe these guys are in sync, having conversations about who's going to push engine temperatures. I know how these conversations go. I've been a part of them myself.
The thing is, to push the way we need to push right now, I mean, they're trying to overcome about a 3-second gap here.
3.5 seconds.
Tough gap to overcome.
With 10 to go. It is. Look back at the lead pack. These guys, they are just single file. Doesn't look like any aggressive pushing between Moore and Smith. And this might be what the second pack needs. I mean, you don't have to push
right. If there's a third pack working together of about, I'd say 6 cars as well, that is 9 seconds back last time by the line. Probably more than that because Devin Jack was their pusher and had to drop out for engine temp. And then you've got guys like Chris Winslow, Evan Hoopchak, William Kinder, and Robert Brobst. Those 3 have formed kind of a 4-car pack with Dustin Bawley being on the tail of that.
Oh! Jay Best is gonna go around hard into the wall. That's gonna bring out a yellow. We're back bunched up with 9 laps to go. And I'll tell you, the top 6 did not want to see that.
They did not. Jay Bass did a great job trying to keep that thing straight. That's a result of the pushing that you have to do with this car, though. That is exactly... I don't fault Johnson. I don't fault anybody there. That is the result of we need to get to that lead pack, and we're going to try everything we can, and they did. And Jay Bass, sadly, just got one wrong bump at a wrong time. And we talk about it. You have to be in sync in that moment. That was one moment where they were not in sync together, and it just resulted in, a bad push. You can just see him before he even breaks loose and gets sideways. When they're pushing there, they're going sideways. Both cars are. Jay Bass and Sean Johnson, they're both going left, right, left, right, left, right. And eventually on one of those left rights, Sean Johnson makes contact with the rear bumper, and that's what ends up spitting Jay Bass out to the wall. And I truly believe Johnson was trying to get centered and push on Jay Bass' rear bumper. It's just they were not getting centered. They were all over the place there.
It is hard to do. When you're in desperation like that, trying to push, trying to get up, back up, to catch the pack ahead of you, it is so hard. Trying to be as smooth as possible with your bumps and not make a mistake like that.
We've got some cars coasting on the apron. Not sure if this is going to be a fake out, but Aaron Smith looks like, yeah, he's coming in. Aaron Smith and Moore both come in. Bechtel, Rapp, Thompson are going to stay out, along with Schlosser, Johnson, Stoner, Wiseman, Ott. I believe the only two that might have came down there was
From the
Smith
front,
and-
yes. Jay Bass, Chris Winslow, and William Kinder. The other 3 cars to pit there. So 5 cars total in pit road. Larry Johnson will be the free pass. He's going to be back in the lead lap. This will be leave Jacob Phillips as the only one lap down. Dustin Bawley is 3 laps down.
3.
So 23 cars still with a chance to win this race. And I'm going to assume they're at 2 to green right now. So we're going to see 5 laps to go when we go back green. How many of those do you think is under green?
It's not going to matter much because I just remembered. I think this league has a no overtime.
And this is the thing. Where do you want to be? Some people do not want to be the leader. They want to be the one to make a move
Okay.
at the right time.
I did go back and confirm we have 1 green, white, checkered. That is it. So we can have 1 caution that sends us into overtime. Next caution ends the race.
So we're not on overtime right now. If we do get to overtime, we'll explain that a little bit again, how it works.
And again, we bring that up just because you ask how many more of these laps are going to be under green. You don't know, but you hope that we can go green to the end. We don't want to have to use that 1 GWC. But you can't confidently predict anything, especially with the way this car drafts. We've already seen how much it moves around. We've already seen quite a few incidents. I'd say we're already up on the incident counts we had from last season, and it's not any fault of the drivers. It's the new car. I'd say it's totally the car. It's a lack of experience for some drivers with this car. It's the way the car drives. It's a different technical skill than what these drivers had in previous seasons.
You know, the heat is definitely on. It is about to be a wild finish here at Talladega Super Speedway.
You know, if I had me one of them fancy Palmer at golf polos right now, maybe I could be ripping the sleeves off and cooling myself down, because you're right, Josh. It is going to heat up from here.
All right, Cletus. So we are coming back to...
He gets ready to do this on Friday? Saturday?
Yeah.
One of
Friday.
these days? I was going to say,
Tomorrow.
I can't remember when the ARC race is. Tomorrow night.
I believe.
Cletus gets to do this real life.
Well, it won't be night. Talladega doesn't have lights.
Tomorrow. In general. I
don't know. Is it?
I probably won't get to watch it. Either
I usually
way,
know
let's
this.
run on pace car. We're double
Yeah,
file.
pace
Get
car's
ready to
coming
come
in.
back green.
So remember, it takes a little bit longer to get to the restart zone. The start-finish line is not in the center of the tri-oval. It's further down.
Same rules will apply when we come to the checkered.
Green flag.
The 19 gets a good jump there, but the 115 was kind of sleeping. But 52, Johnny Rapp going to clear to the bottom. Schlosser going to lead that outside lane. You see drivers already mixing it up. I see Johnson on the move trying to get to the outside. It's going to be Ott, second car, outside lane, getting ready to push Schlosser. Try to get the momentum going. Right now, inside lane prevails by about 4 cars right now.
A lot of movement going on.
And look out back. The third lane is already formed and is being led by James Moore. I see Aaron Smith making moves back there. A lot of moves coming from the back of the pack. That's going to be the place to watch for all the action up front right now. It's single file. About 3 cars back right now, single file. First side-by-side is 4 rows deep. Now about to be 3 rows deep. Here comes Schlosser building that run.
Help from Ott. Big momentum gain there on that outside line.
Huge momentum gain. They're going to be side-by-side for the lead coming off a 2 here. Down the back straightaway, I believe the advantage is going to go to the outside lane.
Now, if you're Schlosser, what do you do?
I'm sticking with the horse that got me here. I'm going to keep Dan Ott behind me. He's doing a great job pushing me. I'm not leaving this lane unless I'm forced out of it. Look at Hoopchak up there on the outside lane in the third lane.
And look who's pushing him.
He's coming with help from Smith. Smith was just on the bottom last lap.
Where in the world did Evan Hoopchak come from? Schlosser moves up to block that high line. 3 to go.
Momentum's there, but I would have stayed with my horse right there in the middle with Dan Ott.
Daniel Ott, too. He's one that I'd want to work with at a track like this.
Oh, Hoopchak in the wall.
Daniel Ott, his friend right now is Sean Johnson. Right now, the middle line kind of stalling. Johnson pushing the Ott, though, maybe a little too hard. Oh! They save it. One goes around. No more go around.
No caution yet.
Dustin, oh my gosh! Dustin Bally just came back up on the track in front of a Chuck Labano. Big junk.
We don't throw an admin caution here.
Coming to 2 to go. Hoopchak moves to the middle line. He's got no help from behind. Now he does. And here comes Jay Bass. Make that Smith.
That's going to lane 3.
Bechtel he's probably thinking, you guys stay crazy. Rap, you keep helping me. Here comes Hoopchak. With help from Smith.
Help from Smith. Third lane. We're kind of even in all 3 lanes here, Josh. One car advantage to the inside lane, but they're all very even in terms of...
Ooh, Bechtel!
Wiseman on the 8.
Saves it!
They're all good.
White flag is waving, so we're not going to have to worry about overtime.
No overtime. Who makes
it
back?
It.
That's the important part here. I can guarantee you we're going to wreck, but who makes it back?
Hoopchak, Schlosser. The top 2 cars right now. Who's going to push better? Is it going to be Smith? Is it going to be Bass? Does Bass step out of line? Does he have help from behind with Johnson? Right now, advantage outside line. Bass staying outside. Bass looking inside. Schlosser blocks. They're wrecking behind. Stonerhart into the wall. Schlosser, he's squirreling. Jay Bass he has the lead. Smith moves to the outside. Smith with the advantage. Bechtel.
Help in the run. Smith has help in the run. There goes Ott to the apron.
Smith, he's got it. It's Smith. Aaron Smith. In 3 wide for 3rd place. Jay Bass got it.
And in one of the wildest last 5-6 laps that we have seen here with this league in general, but I'd argue to say in all of JCTV. That was insane.
Wow.
What a way to start the season.
Can it be next week already?
Can we go to Atlanta already? I want to stick with ovals. Can we go to Atlanta?
Shoot. Aaron Smith had to steal one, too. How about that? Aaron Smith, we're used to seeing him up front. We're used to seeing him compete for wins, taking the wins, earning them. He had to steal that one. How about that? I'm literally...
Josh, lap 29, he was 18th crossing the line.
That's just insanity. Are we sure this is Aaron Smith and not Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Using lessons learned from his father.
It was absolute insanity. I think Aaron Smith just, the experience that he gets with the, we'll call it for what it is, the iRating he has, he proves it. He proves why he has such a high iRating every time he comes out on the track, and he showed it again tonight. He just did an amazing job avoiding all the incidents that took place there.
But it's Talladega.
Without scrubbing off any speed.
But it's Talladega. You could take iRating and throw it out the window, in my opinion. Not for Smith. No, it was just another Sunday cruise for him. What a race. And before we get into interviews, life's really not that complicated. This race was complicated for drivers, but life is really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rack Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmrackgolf.com. I'm at a loss for words. I really am.
Before we hit our interviews, let's run down your finishing order, though. And obviously, first, going to be Aaron Smith. Second, going to go to Randy Bechtel in his, I believe this was his series debut. Jay Bass going to bring it home third. Fourth, Daniel Ott. Fifth, going to be Sean Johnson. Sixth, Laura Wiseman. Seventh, Johnny Rapp. Eighth, going to be Devin Jack. Ninth, Chris Winslow. And Aaron Bray will round out your top 10.
James Moore finishes 11th. William Kinder 12th. Ryan Campbell 13th. Levi Powell, who won the sprint race, finishes 14th in the feature. Evan Hoopchak, he was so close. He gets 15th. Larry Johnson 16th. Samuel Stoner 17th. And last car on lead lap, it is Mike Thompson. Matt Schlosser 19th. Andrew White finishes 20th. And I know it says 20th and then 19th on the unofficial results, but that's that anyway. 21st, Tom Wendt. Chuck Labano 22nd. Jacob Phillips 23rd. Robert Bropes 24th. And Dustin Bawley, he has a night he wants to forget, and he finishes 25th.
Certainly not how our defending series champion wants to remember the first race. But Josh, we do have interviews to get to, and I believe you caught up with our third place finisher, Mr. Jay Bast.
Yeah, indeed, I have Jay Bast. You were there, so close.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to Matt. Oh my gosh, that was not at all intentional. We're watching the replay now. I mean, it's a little bit of, hard racing, just a little bump here, a little bump there. But yeah, no, that was absolutely not intentional to clean him out like that.
And real quick, I just, you brought it up. John and I were talking about it a little bit as well with kind of the differences between this car and which you guys ran previously, the Xfinity car. You're the driver out there right now. Can you kind of explain a little bit of what the differences are from the Xfinity car to now the pushing with this one? How that little bump might have been different in the Xfinity car.
This car is wild. The runs you get on the outside, like when we're running in a line on the bottom, we're doing maybe quarter throttle, half throttle the whole way through. Just the draft effect is so strong in these cars, probably because they're the weaker engines and they just kind of like wind up and spool up a little bit more. But yeah, this is a completely different animal to the Xfinity car. And yeah, as you can see, a few of my bumps were not great. I think I killed 4 drivers out there with bad bumps. So I'm so sorry to everybody that I cleaned out to get this podium. I know Laura was in there. I think James at one point? I need to go back and look, but yeah, I'm definitely sorry to those drivers. But yeah, like I said, the runs you get in this thing are absolutely insane, and it's definitely on my to-do list to clean up my bumps a little bit, practice that a little better.
Well, start off with a podium, 3rd place finish, and how much momentum does this bring for you for, just the beginning of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely a great start to season 6 here. I mean, it's kind of a shock that well, I shouldn't say that, but it's awesome that Road and Plate has been around this long for 6 seasons. I'm still pretty amped up after that race. Jeez. But yeah, congrats to Dustin for keeping the show on, and thanks to Evan for sponsoring us through Pomerat Golf. And I also killed Evan at one point in this race, so sorry about that. I'll buy an extra polo now. But yeah, what an awesome series, man.
All right, sponsors, shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
We'll throw a quick shout out to ittybitbetter.com. Homebrew Auto, EV Part Picker, shout out TW3 Liveries. Tom Wendt, he's painted maybe 3/4 of this entire field. So yeah, he does a great job. Reach out to TW3 Liveries for all of your classic paint job needs. And big thanks to Pomerat Golf for sponsoring the league, and Dustin Bally for organizing everything, and of course you guys for putting on an awesome show as well. Thank you.
All right, well, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you next week.
Cool.
That was Jay Bass, driver the number 53, our 3rd place finisher tonight. And John, I believe you are with Randy Bechtel, our 2nd place finisher.
Indeed, I am. And Randy Bechtel, first of all, I know you had to do a recruitment race to be able to make it tonight, but welcome to the series. 2nd place finish on the first race of the season.
And, thanks for having me in the race. Man, I wasn't expecting to really finish up front. Seen some other races here. Some of them are pretty racy and stuff. And it's like I was just gonna sit back, and somehow I ended up in the front after the green flag stops. And thought it was all over there at the end. Johnny gave me a little push in the corner and got sent back, but somehow the C's parred and got back in the top 3.
Again, a great job just managing this race. I know you talk about, luck being part of it. Luck is a big part of it, but you did a great job just managing too. You talked about that green flag pit stop. You and I believe it was Johnny Rapp and a couple other cars there. You guys did a great job getting out in front and getting ahead. Were you a little nervous there when you watched everybody, kind of peel off, and then, you're left with 4 cars, I think it was, just run into pit lane?
Not really. Once I noticed there was a couple guys staying out. You only need 3 people, and you still have a decent speed after, so wasn't too worried. Plus, I say pretty decent for green flag stops here. It took me a couple years to get really used to it, because I would always change brake bias and stuff and mess up. Now I just learned, hey, you just keep it where it is, and it seems like it's working out pretty good for the green flag stops for me.
It certainly worked out for the green flag stops, but you talk about all the seas parting there, and what did it feel like from the driver's seat to have all that chaos going on around you? And did you ever think to just lift out of it and hope that there would be a caution, or did you just keep your foot in it and keep going?
I think I lifted a few little times, not like full away, just like I don't know, 10-15%. See where like the cars were going, and to put the car where they weren't, and hopefully they didn't come back up in front of me. And sadly, nobody did. It's a shame I couldn't get a run on air in their off floor, but these cars need a little bit of time before they can get up to people. So, hey, good win to Aaron though.
Well, new car for you, new series with being here. Does this second place finish carry that momentum into the season overall, and especially like what can we expect from you as a driver on road courses? Is it something you're excited for? Is it something you're getting experience in? What can we expect?
Well, I say I'm pretty good on road courses. Not up to Aaron Smith's speed, but next week I don't even own the track yet. I know I've raced on the other versions of Nürburgring, but I don't think I'm very fast. And God, there's so many corners there. It's hard to remember them all.
Well, we wish you the best of luck going on with this season. And the very last thing we do here over at JCTV before we let you go is we let you get those shout outs and those sponsor thank yous out there. So who helps get it done behind that 19 machine?
Well, I want to thank you guys first for broadcasting. I can enjoy going back and watching this one. Dustin and the other admins for Road and Plate for putting it on. Letting me join this season. Johnny Rapp for helping me there on the green flag stop there. We worked together for a long time. Other than that, I believe that's it.
All right, Randy, we'll go celebrate the second place finish, and we'll see you next week from Nürburgring.
Thank you, guys.
That was the second place finisher. And Josh, I believe you've got a very happy victory lane winner in that man, Aaron Smith and the Banana Machine.
Yeah, indeed I do. Aaron Smith, first of all, these restrictor plate races are supposed to be where everybody else can try to get a jump on you as far as wins go, and you come out here and you steal one. But an incredible drive you had. I think John told me that you were 20. What did you say, John? 18th on lap 29. And you somehow won.
I didn't realize we had so few laps left there, but yeah, we had a pretty good run up through the field. I don't know why everyone was so intent on staying on the outside lane. 'Cause the middle is so much better because the outside wall dumps air on your spoiler in these cars. Like the side draft still works when you're by yourself up there. So I just sat in the middle, found a hole up top, took it, lost my position up there, and they all wrecked in front of me. So I'll take it.
It was just absolutely incredible. Incredible drive you had. So as far as just the chaos that happened throughout the... Well, you guys, after your green flag pit stop, you were sitting in a really good position. It was just 6 of you out there. I'm sure that caution was not what you wanted to see.
No, I wasn't sure if we'd get a green white checkered in, so I wanted to go down and be certain that I'd make it on fuel. And that ended up being probably the worst decision I could have made there, but it kept me out of the trouble at the front and put me in the right place at the right time for those last few corners.
So, with that being said, with just the chaos that happened, trying to work your way back up to the front, the field going absolutely crazy around you, what was the mindset? I mean, you talked about not wanting to be on the high side, but what was the mindset as far as just, trying to get around everybody?
It was just take the middle, go wherever all of the other cars weren't, and then move the moment it looked like they were going to go there. because the inside was checking up every chance they got. The middle was almost non-existent for most of that. I'd have a couple cars work up there with me, and then they'd either drop to the top or outside and leave me alone, or I would sit on the top and try to get a run to move down the track. And I guess it all worked out. I don't remember how I did it exactly, but ended up P5 coming out of turn 2, and looked in my mirror at Randy. Was waiting for him to get a run, and then I look up and I see somebody hitting the outside wall at 200. So, not ideal for them, but it worked out really well for me. So I'll take it. It's a great race all around, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you if this was going to be a full-time drive for you this season, or what your plans were.
Oh yeah. I'm planning on sticking around for the whole season. I'll run whatever I can run. I'm sure I'll have my Thursdays open for this whole season, but I'm certainly looking forward to the Nordschleife. That's one of the bucket list tracks to run in this car, and I'll certainly be there for that at the very least.
All right, sponsors, shout-outs, who gets it done for that winning 70 machine.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at Road and Plate and Palmer Golf for putting this championship on, y'all for broadcasting, as well as the folks at PT Autosport and Momentum Brewery for their support on my end, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to get back at it next week and hopefully ending up back up here.
All right. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your race winner here from Talladega. John, I think we both have had time to catch our breath. I mean, what were your thoughts?
I don't know that I have any yet. I've had time to catch my breath, but not my thoughts. Like, this race had everything. It really did. For a plate race, it had everything. We got a green flag stop in at a plate race that just had what felt like absolute chaos. And I don't believe, other than we had one caution, I believe, the entire feature race. We had multiple incidents. It's shocking. It's very shocking. It's not something where I'd say, like, yes, throw a caution on everything, but it was just shocking how many incidents we had. And I believe tonight we were running strictly on iRacing cautions. And it was shocking to me that iRacing didn't throw any.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like it was so hard for Barney the Flagman to rip that flag out of his holster.
Oh, yeah. I agree. In different new seasons kind of bring different rules. And that may be a thing, a change that was made for no manual thrown cautions. I'm not sure. I'd have to check into that. I did read that somebody asked why no caution came out. Somebody else replied, iRacing didn't throw one. I don't know if that is the new standard. But I mean, yeah, it was a great race. These guys did an incredible job at doing what they do. And what a season opener. Seriously. I mean, can it get any better than this?
It's going to be hard to top, but I mean, we've got plenty of great tracks on the schedule this season. You were starting to run down some of them. We can go through them if you have that graphic available to pop up for the folks at home. We can actually take a look at everything we've got coming up for this season.
There we go. So, yeah, Nordschleife is next week, followed by Portland, Atlanta, 2008 version. And then they'll have a bye week before coming back and doing VIR. That'll be the first half of the season. The Mugello, Daytona Oval, Watkins Glen, Willow Springs, and finish out the season with Talladega. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The highlight I'm looking at is Portland, 2 weeks from today. New track to iRacing, dropped same time as this car came out. And,
yep.
looking at an outlier here, though, too. Fuel, everything is 55% except for next week. We're going to get full gas tanks next week.
Yeah.
And that's going to be due to the size of the track.
I have no idea what to expect. I really don't. It's going to be a lot of fun. I feel like these guys always are a lot of fun. And we'll see how that track fares for us.
Yeah, and good reminder for folks watching at home who may want to get off the couch and come join in the action. First of all, it's not too much to get started. All you need is a simple wheel and pedals. Doesn't matter what kind. Usually most people would start with a Logitech, which will run you about, I'd say, $250. I'm not sure what the monthly cost of iRacing is, but it's not that bad. I believe it's like
13 and some change.
13 and some change. But you yourself at home can come join in all the action for that price and the price of a PC, unless you already have one. And then, to be involved with this league, if you already are out there and in iRacing and you want to race this league, remember, this league does not allow you to show up for just the oval. So you got to show up one of the next 2 weeks, either for Nordschleife or for Portland. And you could be racing at Atlanta here on the 15th of May.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at JCTV. We do have, well, actually tomorrow night, we have a league that we're broadcasting for the first time. It is going to be a wild card type league. It's only going to be 6 races long for the season. Special stage is what they're called. So they're running the IndyCar, and I think they are at Talladega tomorrow. I could be wrong. I'm not personally broadcasting them. But I do believe that they are at Talladega. You can catch that right here on JCTV. Olivia Hayward will be on the call for that one. I believe it's going to be starting 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be 3 short races back to back to back. And should only take like an hour or so to do. So, I mean, I'm going to be looking forward to tuning that one in when I can. I'll be a little bit busy tomorrow, but that should be a lot of fun. I recommend checking it out. IndyCar at Talladega. What can go wrong? And then the Blazer Sim Racing Amsoil Truck Series is at Homestead on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check them out as well. That's all right here on JCTV. Otherwise, we'll be back 1 week from tonight. Same place, same time, JCTV. Just different track, which will be Nordschleife. So, look forward to seeing you back here, watching some awesome racing. Well, big thanks to the drivers, the admins, and the fans. All you guys help make this possible. And on behalf of Jonathan Canfield and the entire outstanding crew right here at JCTV, I'm Joshua Coppernell, signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and have a great rest of your night.